Hi, my name's Ethan. Wade has been very kind to let me send this video to him to possibly put on his channel. So if you're watching this on YouTube, go down to the comment section, do me a favour and just tell Wade how lucky we are to have him on YouTube teaching us these awesome sights. And so without further ado, we're going to get into the bluff pass and the mega bluff pass and the super bluff pass and all of the subtleties. So let's go. Alright, so the bluff pass is, first of all, it's not a pass, it's a utility move and it can be used to control or force a card. And that card is the card that's second from the top. So what it looks like is you riffle down the side of the deck, ask someone to say stop, oh sorry, I'll go a bit slower, and stop, pick up half the deck, and then you show them the second from top card. So that is the bluff pass. We're going to get into how to do it now. Before I start on the actual slide, I just wanted to say that the pattern that you use in this is very important. This is a very casual move. It can be really invisible when you do it the right way. So, good way to do it is not to say exactly what you're doing. You're not going to say, okay, tell me stop, I'm going to pick up half the deck, because that's exactly what they're going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for you doing something different than what you're saying. So what I like to say when I'm about to do the bluff pass is first we have to select a card, okay, because that implies that this isn't the main part of the trick. So they're not going to be really on guard, they're not going to be trying to catch you yet, because the trick is actually going to come later, because first you're selecting a card. So first we're going to select a card, just say stop for me. Perfect. They take the card, they look at it, you put it back, and you've controlled it second from the top. So the first part of the bluff pass is the riffle down the side of the deck. Now you're going to be holding it in dealer's grip, and then you're going to have a break under the top card. So one thing you want to make sure doesn't happen is you don't want to squeeze the deck, because if you do, that top card is going to pop up a lot more than the others. So just nice and loose, riffle down the side. Now what I see a lot of people do, and this is this is a tip for both the bluff pass and the riffle force, is people come over and they riffle like this with this top hand right on top. You don't need that. It implies that something else is going on. So just hold it with one hand, riffle down the side, nice and hands off, and then you come over and pick up that one card. A subtlety that I've come up with, I haven't seen anybody else do it, I'm sure somebody else has done it, but I'm going to claim it as my own because I haven't seen anybody else doing it, is to riffle before they say stop on the first time, okay? Because if they say stop around here and you go to pick up these cards, with a good bluff pass you can make it look convincing, but it's going to help if they say stop in the first third of the deck. So what you want to do to make sure they do that is riffle too fast the first time, they'll say stop after, then you go again, they're most likely going to say stop a lot quicker. So that's going to help you. So they say stop most likely in the first third of the deck, that way it's going to be much more convincing when you pick up that one card. Once you've riffled down the side of the deck, the next thing is to pick up the top card. Now, how you're going to do that is mime the action of actually picking up cards. So if you were to do the bluff pass for real, you'd come over and pick up all of these cards. Alright? So now once you've done that, if you've got your deck in front of you, just drop the rest of the cards. That's the exact position that you want to hold this card in. Right? So when I'm coming over, I'm covering it with all of my fingers, right, to disguise this thin edge. And the only part that people can see it from is this side. Okay, so to prevent that, you're just going to come back like this, right? And you can show as much of this as you want, just don't show this, right? So you're going to come back like that and show the top card. Okay, the second thing you can do to make it look like you're picking up all of these cards is a tilt of the hand. So when you're riffling, you're going to be riffling up. This both helps you with the tilt and also disguises the fact that you've got a break under this top card. Then when you come over, you're going to turn your whole hand, which disguises the front edge of the deck, and it puts them in a position so that they can't see the edge of the deck. So they're going to see less, which helps disguise the amount of cards that there are. Is just come back with a hand nice and relaxedly, because you're going to be handing out this card. So this hand comes back and this hand goes forward, and they separate very naturally. When you're doing this with a table, what you can also do is pick this half up and put it down on the table, right? So just resting your hand down on whatever surface you have. And you're doing the same thing, you're still flashing the top of this card, which is exactly what you want to do to convince people that you've got half the deck in your hand. Another thing that people do with the deck hand when they're holding this is they let the cards go, and you can see this edge, which some might argue shows more of the cards, but it also kind of deceives people as to how many cards there are, because people don't normally hold a deck like this, so your spectators won't know what a deck looks like or how much they'll be able to see when it looks like this. Another thing that people do is hold it in a deeper grip. Okay, so it looks like less cards if the fingers extend more than if you're holding it like this. So what that would look like is riffle like this, right? Pick up with that tilt, and then just put it into a deeper grip as you're handing out that card. Okay, so the next step in the bluff pass is replacing these cards, right? You want them to think that you're replacing multiple cards. So there are a few ways to do that. The first way is after you've come up like this, is to go over, right? And then just dribble the cards. And how that's done is as you come over and shield this front edge, your thumb is just gonna push up like this. You're gonna grab these cards and do that, right? Now you wanna make sure that if they've said stop in the first third, right, you're not gonna push up most of the deck, because that's too many cards, right? Another way of doing that is you come over, you do the same thing, and to emphasize how fair it is, right, you come over, you turn, and by that time you've already pushed up these cards, right? What you don't want to do is flash that you've got this card second from the top. So if I've got the 4 of spades and I come over like this, I don't want to dribble them one by one until you can see this 4 of spades. So go a bit quicker towards the end of the dribble so they don't see their card again. It can also help, again, to do the tilt when you're replacing the cards. So obviously these cards are going to be tilted towards the ground, so you're showing them the back of the card. But as you come over, you can have the deck tilted up and then it goes down, because it gives the illusion that this hand never actually goes close to the deck. So this hand pointing down, this hand also starts pointing down, it comes up, and then they both go down, and then you dribble the remaining cards on top.